everybody, welcome back. I have another Sophia Beaufont book for you today, so this is book number 10. By the way, if you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. Yay! So I'm just going to get straight in with the blurb for this one. Things are never what they seem. Sophia Beaufont is about to learn that firsthand. Tracking down the stolen dragon eggs leads to more mysteries that have to be solved. Fighting Magitech with dragons has its challenges, but also so many advantages. Even state-of-the-art cyborgs are no match for a dragon's speed, strength and intelligence. However, winning the battle is just the beginning when the dragon elite realises there's a much bigger war being waged. Can they jump into action and defeat the enemy they never saw coming? Yeah, so this is book 10, Decide Fate. I will say that, like the previous book, this is quite love-based. Mainly because you do have that relationship happening between Sophia and Wilder, and also because one of the main missions of this book is Sophia trying to find St. Valentine. I feel like the blurb for this book kind of skims over quite a lot, because at the end of the last book, these books merge into one in my head, to be honest, because so much happens. It's quite obvious that these were originally one big longer book, because it was part of a mega book called Justice Unhatched, which I believe that mega book was 24 books, and the version I've got has got 12 of them, so it's split into 2 books of 12, so it just keeps running on, which is why trying to review these is quite difficult, trying to figure out where the hell I'm at. This book is very kind of mission after mission after mission, because each mission is to help something else. But yeah, so the thing about St. Valentine is the fact that Sophia wants to fix Wilder after he has been hit with Cupid's arrow in the previous book. So she wants to find St. Valentine. She is told by her fairy godmother Mei-Ling that St. Valentine can help with her problem. So she is trying to find St. Valentine to help fix Wilder after being hit by the arrow, and she also wants to talk to him about Ainsley, the housekeeper for the Gullington, when she finds out that one of the reasons why Ainsley cannot get better, and the reason why she is so forgetful when she leaves the Gullington, is because she's had her heart broken. And so she thinks that St. Valentine might be able to help with the broken heart situation and help Ainsley to get her memories back. So that is one of the main storylines in here. But yeah, with that, you've got lots of things happening in regard. I think there's about 3 missions that are all connected, because Sophia needs money from the King of the Fae, Rudolph, to help sort out the Magitech that they stole from Trin Caranti, who is the villain of the moment, who stole the dragon eggs in the previous books. So in order to get that money, she goes to the King of the Fae, who has the money to spare, but at the same time you don't want to make a deal. Well, you do want to make a deal. It's basically the idea that if you ask the King of the Fae for something, you owe him. And Sophia does not want to be in that situation. So Sophia goes to the King of the Fae, she goes to Las Vegas, where Rudolph is based, and says, I want to do something for you so that you will give me the money. And Rudolph is there going, oh, this is like chump change for me, I can just give it to you. And she was like, no, we need to balance this out. I'm first going to do something for you so that you can give me the money, so I'm not in debt to you. So to help Rudolph, because the King of the Fae is married to a mortal who was brought back to life. I don't think I've said much about Rudolph's side of the story. And together they have triplets, which were born a couple of books back, and their first name is all Captain, and it's due to Quiet. They're all named after Captain Quiet Gullington, who saved the Fae, basically. And so his mortal wife is in a bit of a depression after the birth of the kids, and doesn't get up until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's obvious that she's going through postpartum depression, and in order to help Rudolph and his wife, Sophia agrees to find a plant which is supposed to elongate the life of a mortal. And this is the point which I really liked, which is where Sophia goes on a mission with her sister live, where they go to find this plant, which is supposed to help mortals. So they have a successful mission, they get the plant, they take it to the bakery in London, which is run by a female assassin and her wife, and there Sophia is there given another mission, which has to do with a lunar eclipse, which I'm assuming is going to go into the next book because she needs a lot of stuff to happen. But basically, in this book we are given the basis of that mission for the bakery, where they need to go forwards or backwards to a lunar eclipse and go to a shop. Basically, we don't know all the details of this mission yet, but we know that she needs to get a sword. Is it a sword or is it just a knife? It's some sort of magical sword knife, and it's for the women who run the bakery. But they're also told they need to get Zac Efron, who is apparently an amazing tap dancer. And as I was reading it, I was there going, that doesn't look right to me. And it's because in the book they misspell Zac. In the book it's spelled Z-A-C-K, and I was just there going, I'm sure that's not how Zac Efron spelled his name, and I'm right. I've just googled it, and it's Z-A-C Zac Efron. So that really bothered me as I was reading the book. Zac Efron's name is misspelt, but yeah, in the book it's the idea that Zac Efron is an amazing tap dancer, and apparently that's important for the mission. So it looks like in the next book we might have a special appearance by Zac Efron as this amazing tap dancer that's important to this mission. Because there's a point when Sophia says, why do we need Zac Efron? Can't we just get a regular person who's just really good at tap? And the women at the bakery were going, no, it has to be Zac Efron. But yeah, the fact that Zac Efron was misspelled really annoyed me. And I was just there going, it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. And I'm right, because it's, in the book they spell it Z-A-C-K instead of Z-A-C. Yeah, that's an important mission. So you've got the mission that she does for Rudolph to help his wife, where she actually ends up getting 2 magical muffins with the ingredient in, and so she has to figure out who to give the other one to. It has to be eaten within about 24 hours of it being made, so she essentially forces it down Serena's throat, which is Rudolph's wife, because she's there like still in her depression. And I feel like that was handled, it could have been handled a little bit more sensitively, that storyline, because it's obvious that his wife is going through postpartum depression, and you have Sophia there going, I feel sorry for you, but at the same time this is going to help you, and she basically forces it down her throat. But yeah, I just feel like that storyline with Rudolph and his wife could just be handled a little bit more sensitively, just based on the fact that it's obvious what Serena's going through. But yeah, it just feels like each mission has a knock-on effect, and they're all kind of connected. The main mission of this is the St. Valentine one. When she is told by Mei Ling, her fairy godmother, that St. Valentine can help her, and she's told roughly where to find him, and it turns out it's a random pub in London. And she goes there and says, I need to speak to St. Valentine, and they're just like, oh, you're a month early for your appointment that you've made. And she's like, I haven't made an appointment. We later find out that it's actually Sophia's future self that made the appointment. And it's good that Sophia's turned up a month early, because it allows her to prepare for the appointment. Because St. Valentine is a bit snobby and needs everybody to be fully dressed up in front of him. So Sophia then has to go to a seamstress to have a dress made with magical material to make her seem exceptionally put together and beautiful and flawless. And yeah, so she has to order the dress, and then it looks like the dress is going to be made just in time for that appointment. It's all these missions that are so tightly pulled together. I will say one of my favourite moments in this book is when Sophia turns up to Mei Ling, and Mei Ling is in the middle of a lesson, and Sophia doesn't realise, and she's confronted with a plant that kind of looks like Audrey 2. It's described as that. It's described as being like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, and Sophia instinctly, that's a really hard word to say, instinctly doesn't fight it. She's just looking at it thinking, oh my god, I'm about to be eaten by Audrey 2. But she does not feel the need to fight this plant. And then eventually the plant just withers away and goes away, and Mei Ling is then makes Sophia realise that she's in the classroom, and Mei Ling goes, and that is how you fight a carnivorous plant. You don't. And Sophia goes into, when she finally gets her one-on-one time with Mei Ling, Sophia says, how do you know that was going to work? You know, what if I fought it? And Mei Ling goes, I knew you weren't going to fight the plant because it's in your instincts not to. Mei Ling knows Sophia inside out and knows that Sophia will not always go to fight first thing later. Sophia always thinks before she does anything. And that is such a good thing to think about in regards to Sophia and just anything really. That think first, then do. Because so many people do without thinking, but you do need to think before you do anything. In this case, Sophia learns to trust those instincts. She knows when to fight, she knows when to not fight. And we know that from when she did the training thing when she went to Australia. Because that was how she got through that week with the zombies. She was just like, what if we don't fight them? And so they don't fight them, and they're absolutely fine. The zombies get bored and go away. It's like Sophia has that internal trust with her gut. That's a really bizarre way to say it, but that's what she has. She has that trust with her gut where she knows that she doesn't have to fight all the time. And I think that's going to be a really important thing when it comes to like the end of this series, as you see her kind of growing up and learning how to use her new skills and learning how to control everything, because she's still young. She's like 16, 17 at this point, and she's still learning within the elite. She still wants to be independent while at the same time she wants to be part of the team. But yeah, I just think it's a really, really good lesson to have there. Oh, that's my alarm telling me I need to get ready for my singing lesson. So that was perfect timing, really. But yes, so I really like where this series is going, and I love the fact that it's using that instinct that she realises that maybe she doesn't need to fight Trin, who stole the dragon eggs. Because in the previous book, you find out that, well, Trin uses the words, I want to be like you. At first, I think that Trin wants to be a dragon rider, but then in this book, or was it at the end of the last one, that Sophia went, wait, no, she doesn't want to be a dragon rider. She just wants to be human. Because the baddies that turned Trin and her army into half human, half cyborg, you know, Trin just wants to be human again. And so this is the book where you realise that Trin isn't essentially a baddie, and that maybe the elite needs to work with Trin and Trin's army to find out how they can work together. So, yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, so that was book number 10, Decide Fate. So I actually only have 2 books left in my collection because I've only got 12 of them on here. That's the front cover. Yeah, I think one of my favourite things about this book is the fact that Sophia goes on a mission with her sister. And we haven't seen that before. And it's good to see that the friendship and the relationship she has with her sister and how they work together. I find that really, really sweet, seeing that relationship and the mission that they go on and how they bounce off each other and how they work together. I just thought that was really, really powerful. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, we're still doing Vlogmas, so tune in again tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow.